Hi designers, in this tutorial we will design shoes using different metallic leather textures, and I'm going to go to this section which is called platform shoes and select this template to begin with. So I'm going to hide the other two views and leave the side view only and make it semi-transparent. So I'm working on the first layer, and I will take a pen. I'm going to use a dark gray color. And small size of the pen. So first thing, I will just trace the entire shoe. We'll use a stitching mod for the line and run this stitching line around. So now I've completely traced the template. I can remove it. And as I will draw along, I will make sure this layer stays always on top so that the outline is always visible, and keep my coloring within these lines. So I will press plus, and I will split screen to add the textures that I'm going to use for coloring to the screen as a pin. So I will pull the bar from below. These are my photos. I'll tap and hold it to split the screen. So these are the samples that I have chosen to use as a reference. So what I'm going to do is tap and hold one of them, and then with the other hand I will just click on the ones that I want to add and just drop them on the screen. So I've created a pin which has these three materials. So now I can take the whole screen for the Prêt-à-Template app and use these as a reference to just check how the material looks like. And I will try to color fill with a custom palette. So what I will do is open the palettes tool, and then I will click on my pin and find the silver leather that I want to assign to this part. So I will tap and hold this picture and drag it to the palette until I see this green plus and just drop it there. So I have a custom palette right now. I will take this middle gray color and I will take this opaque brush and fill in this area. So I'll stay working on this layer, and I need to add the reflective surface to it, like draw a reflective part of it. So the idea is that there's highlights that have really smooth transitions to middle grays, like this one, and then there's dark shadows with a reflected light. If you can see, on the side after the dark color there's a lighter one. The same here, after the dark color there's a lighter one, because it absorbs the light that's reflected from another surfaces. So I need to draw the same, but taking into consideration the shape of the shoe. and the direction of light from, I think, somewhere from here, from the side. And I will take a watercolor brush. We'll come back to my palette and start adding some light areas, starting from the big shape and then receding into a smaller, so it gives me a smooth transition from light to dark, just saturating the color in the middle and then like stretching it slowly towards the sides. And then the shoe starts. I'm just trying to imagine how the light would behave on the shoe. So here will be the area of reflected light. I assume here would be another highlight point. I can add some white color to it, right in the middle. And I can as well create darker parts. And if I feel I went too dark over some places, I can take the biggest size of the brush, switch to white color and just go over everything. So I think this is nice. And the last thing to add would be the deepest shadows, which are in the places where the leather is folded into the seam. So I would take this color even darker, smallest size of the marker, and run across the edge. Good tip to know when you're using the eraser is that the size of it depends whether you're holding the pencil vertically or horizontally. So if you need a lot of precision, hold it vertically. And the pressure, so for example, if I put a lot of pressure, it increases in size. If I want to make the smallest size of eraser, I hold it vertically and don't put any pressure. Something like this. Now I will add one more layer to work on this part, which is going to be a teal leather, also with a lot of shine. So I will switch to this pen and I will go to my palette to hold and drag this color now to have another custom palette and fill in this part of the shoe. So I don't have to be very careful because I will spill the color over the top anyway, so it's all right. I will switch to watercolor brush and repeat the same steps that I had before. Just change the size of the brush, layering the darker color on top. And I will use marker to enhance the edges with some highlights. So the idea is similar, except here the shape was going inwards. Here it sticks out, so I have to emphasize that with the lighter color. And I can erase everything outside of the outline. I don't care about the lace because I will use one more layer on top to color them, so that will be fixed. And just getting rid of all the excess. So these are two parts of the shoe. One more is here and it will be blue. So again, I'm creating a new layer. And I'm creating a custom palette, but first I'll change to this marker to get an opaque color base and go to the palettes. And get my color. So I think I'll use this color. And I will start coloring this area. So this is the first flat shape that I will use for the coloring. And I need to make it reflective. I forgot the small part here. And I will use pretty much the same technique over again. So I will start with a bigger brush and adding the light to this part. And I'm trying to merge it with these lights to repeat the similar pattern. All right, and the other thing that I want to do is create a texture. So I'll go to the patterns library and find some snakeskin pattern. I think this one. And I will run it over the shoe. But I will also alternate the colors. So I will take a darker color. create some transitions. And then I will try to create the volume of this snake skin. So I will take a marker. You can also use a pencil or a pen. I will take the smallest size. And take light color to add the small highlights on the scales. I think I will try to use a pencil for that. And after that I will use marker to add the shadows. Here. And here. And now I can use eraser to remove everything else. Oh, I completely forgot about this part. So I will have to work on it now. Okay, so I will take a watercolor brush and create quickly a same effect. So now I have to color the toe box and the lace, and I will use a separate layer. Just want to give some shadow here to separate these two parts properly. And the toe box. Toe box is going to be a soft matte material, some kind of a rubber. I don't know, should I make it transparent or something? Let's think. Okay, I will use watercolor brush to color it, and I will try to make it transparent with some hint of some color. I guess I could go for something like this. Let's increase the size of the brush. I'm adding the similar shadow pattern as what I have already on this side. And I will play a little bit with the shade, darken it here. But the properties of this material is not the same, so it will have a much softer transition. So I'm thinking to sort of unite it with a bigger brush in this way, and I will give it a edges that are not transparent, because that's the property of such material. So I will take a marker, use a smaller size, darker color, and add some shadows to it. And then within this shape, I will add some highlights from white color or very light blue. I think I'll switch to pen and add a couple of lines. Just soften these areas. Erase the and to emphasize that it's semi-transparent, I will add some light accents. And now I will add laces, so one more layer on top. I will use this color and this pen. And then I will switch to pencil and use darker color to add shadows. If you want to add more life to the illustration, you can always take some light color and add with a small pen some highlights to add shine to the different areas. But they have to be small and just a few. Like this. So this is finished illustration. I hope you liked it and enjoyed. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel.